A few years ago, with the massive success of Witcher Season 1, Netflix thought they had their next big franchise on their hands. They thought this was something that was going to go for 7 seasons, a bunch of spin-offs, and with Henry Cavill as Geralt, they thought they had the perfect guy for the job. And it's true, they did. Unfortunately, they didn't have the rest of the people surrounding him to make this thing last, because the writers, the showrunners, the casting directors, nearly everyone involved with this property didn't respect the source material. They rather insert their own identity politics into a story where it doesn't belong. And finally, Henry Cavill said, I'm done. I've had enough. I'm leaving. And he said that season 3 will be my last season. And subsequently, we saw the fan backlash because the fans were only tuning in for Henry Cavill. They didn't want to watch this garbage, but they did love Henry Cavill as Geralt. They knew he was doing his best. They knew he's the only one that cared about it. And now that he was leaving, the fans were furious. Witcher Blood Origin, the spinoff, was a complete and total nightmare. And now Witcher Season 3 is also a disaster for Netflix. And now they're just straight up admitting that they made some of these changes intentionally to insert identity politics. When you look at the ratings, it's not been really that big of a surprise. It's been very, very bad, like so many fans said it was going to be when Henry Cavill announced that he was done with these people. Looks like The Witcher losing Henry Cavill ahead of Season 4 had a noteworthy effect on Season 3's audience. And yes, from the premiere of 1.1 million people tuning in, which is less than what they had in the premiere of Season 2, by the way, they lost like 60% of their audience by the 5th episode. If this were any other show on a streaming platform, anything over 50% is almost an immediate cancellation. These are the numbers they're looking at for The Witcher Season 3. And now you have people that work there, the casting director specifically, saying they work with the showrunner to make sure to use their influence and race swaps, race changes, things like this, to change the way that people see these characters. The Witcher casting director admits to using her job to affect change in viewers and manipulate their unconscious biases. Now, this person, Sophie Holland, went to talk about how important it is to see different people, and when you're casting someone, not just go with what the source material says, not just go with what they're supposed to look like, but think about diversifying things to make sure everybody knows that you could be like this person too. She later added, you can affect change in whatever tiny way because you are in people's homes and they're watching this world. And that sort of solidified when I was a child. She's 5, or when I had a child, she's 5 now, and I thought how hard it is to be a girl. I remember thinking, I have to help her. She's going to come under attack just like I did just because she's a girl. Maybe she'll be lucky to get to 9 before someone calls her a bitch. And that made me so sad she was going to experience that. But what I can do is change the way people see women through casting. I can make them powerful and empowering, and then the floodgates will open to them. Well, apparently you can also just change all of their races too. Steve Kenobi over on Twitter or X or whatever the hell we're calling it now, he put out this tweet that went viral the other day. Someone didn't do their job when casting The Witcher. And these are the video game counterparts who are pretty much exactly the way they're described in the books compared to what their live acting castings ended up looking like. There seems to be a trend, doesn't there? There seems to be a very specific trend that they've decided to follow. This casting director is the person who's responsible for that. Holland went on to specifically explain why she chose to race replace Yennefer in The Witcher. I'm always the first to champion diversity. One that springs to mind was the character of Yennefer. Lauren Schmidt-Hissrich, the showrunner, we work so well together, she's open to conversations. In the book, she's described as the most beautiful woman in the world. She's also described as white. You guys decided to change that. This is a few years ago, and I'd like to think that things have changed, but when you think about people's unconscious bias, especially in the fantasy world, it felt like these worlds were predominantly white. And I remember saying, I feel like we need to challenge what people think of as a standard of beauty, and having women of color in the role does incredibly powerful things to the people watching. Imagine if a casting director or a showrunner were as passionate about protecting the source material and being committed to the source material and bringing what fans love to life as they were to pushing their own diversity and identity politics into everything. And it has played out through the ratings. Witcher Season 3, like we said, has been a disaster. When you look at the view times, you're talking about half. They've lost half their audience, if not more, between Season 2 and Season 3. And this is with Henry Cavill still there. People just are upset about everything that happened. When he's gone, it's done. They might as well not make Season 4, to be honest with you, because it's just going to get worse and worse. We knew it when it happened. We knew when Henry Cavill announced this was going to be a nightmare. We knew what it meant for the show, that Henry Cavill was fed up because of the identity politics, because of the wokeness, because they were inherently changing this story, and now they're paying the price. They're straight up admitting what they're doing. They're admitting why they're making these casting decisions. They want to change people. They want to change the way that people view these characters, but it's not their story to change. That is the biggest problem with The Witcher. You have these people that are activists that have taken over everything when it comes to this show. That's why Henry Cavill left. Let me know your thoughts about all this in the comment section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.